Greetings again, cartists. That's a funny word I invented based on the words car and artists. You're welcome. I want to talk about some sketching materials and methods. So a lot of you have been talking about, what do I sketch with? What kind of pen is it? It is not a magical pen. I like to sketch with number one, this Bic round stick medium. Here's what it looks like. I like it because it has a real super fine point, and then if you want to keep it dark, get it darker, you can do that. So that's for initial sketching. That's the plain old Bic marker, number one. Then I also like this pen. It's another Bic soft feel, which is completely silly, but this one is a little smoother than the other one. It's probably just because it's a newer pen, but same sort of thing. I can get a really, really fine, precise line, but if I keep it dark, keep pushing, I can get this really nice shading kind of thing. So anyway, that's number two. It's also another cheap Bic product. Then there's Prisma Indigo Blue. So a lot of car designers like to sketch with indigo blue. It'll lay down a really nice precise point to it as well, and you can get it darker. Has a nice feel to it when you start doing some swoops and stuff, but you're constantly sharpening it, so FYI. But the good news is you can buy an entire box of indigo blue. Open this bad boy up, and you're pretty much, it's Christmas time for you, because you can get a whole box of indigo blue Prismacolors, so bear that in mind. Next is just plain old black, same kind of thing, and this one isn't sharpened, but you know, you may want to do it in black. But I find both pencils, sketching and Prisma, is just too thick. It's too broad point for my preferences, but whatever, to each his own. Next is just a pencil. This is just from my art kit, but you could sketch with a pencil, sure. It doesn't really matter, but I would recommend keeping it on the light side, not sketching with a really dark pencil, because what you can do is keep sketching until you feel you have the perspective right. Then get out like your kneaded eraser and kind of go over your entire picture so only the boldest lines remain. So that's how you can get rid of all this other junk and still kind of see your outline. What I don't like is when you're going to render that and you switch into pen and marker and you start getting all this like pencil junk all over the place. So anyway, for initial sketching, it's up to you. I'm not too wild about it, but whatever. Here's what you should not sketch with, boys and girls. You should not sketch with like your big old marker. Okay, don't sketch with that. I know I've done it a few times. You may want to lay down like, you know, I just don't know. I don't think you really need this if you're going for something you're going to render out. And you especially don't need to do it like this, okay? Here is my car. It is really nice. It's a Ferrari, okay? You do not need that. Do not do that. Also, this is just a fine point Sharpie. If there's like nothing else around, you could kind of sketch with this one. This one is like just about dead. But I wouldn't recommend a fine point Sharpie because it's super permanent and it'll probably bleed through to the other side of the paper. And why use that when you can just get a cheapo Bic pen or just a pencil and do those. So those are some different ways to do your initial sketching, and these are just some examples of the kind of effects that you could get. Stay away from the broad point, and thin point is your friend, especially for those beginning sketches. So these boxes of Prismas, if you're going to do a lot of sketching, you may want to buy a whole box. And what I've got here is white, black, indigo blue, and another thing of white ones, because I always found that I was going through white pencils all the time and just really needing a nice sharp point every single picture that I would do. So I got a whole box of those and the black ones too, and if you can just order a box, it might make more sense if you're gonna be doing a ton of sketching, especially if you're a pencil sketcher and you really like sketching with your indigo blue. It's not the easiest pencil to find, so you may want to order an entire box. But anyway, that's just some good things to know. The pencil also gives you some of these cool different effects with your point. So you couldn't get an interesting point like that with your Bic pen, but you know, if it's in your indigo blue here, you can do some different gradations, different thicknesses in your line like that. So that's worth noting, is that you may want to do that. So anyway, bunch of different types of pencils. Sketch with what works, but make sure you kind of try all of them and push yourself to try something new and see if you like it. So that is all for today. Goodbye.